freezing beans is so hard. I'm just kidding. It's so easy and I'm gonna show you how. Hi, I'm Michelle from JMC Family Farms. If you're new to our channel, we started our channel to teach people about farming, gardening, and cooking from scratch. Today I'm gonna talk to you about how to freeze beans. It can be any beans, yellow beans, green beans, whatever sort of fresh beans that you have. You can get them at a farmer's market if you have them growing in your garden. A lot of people think that freezing beans is a really hard thing, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I do, and it's not hard at all. I used to think that freezing beans was a really hard thing to do, and then I found this, I think I must have just read it somewhere that you could freeze beans without blanching them and things, and I've actually done this ever since. I've done it for several years and it works really well. So all that I do is I just strain my beans and wash them just like I would if I was making them for supper. I like to cut each of the ends, like both ends. That's a personal preference, and I just take the ends off of those beans. I did most of them here. And then all that I do is, so I've washed them already in my strainer and I've let them, I typically would, and it's hard to see, I'm sorry, just because of my camera angle here, I would put them on the counter on a towel and just dry them. So the next thing that you would do is, all I do is I just get a little Ziploc bag, a little freezer bag. I mark the date on it so that I know exactly when I've used or when I've put these beans in the freezer, and you just put them in your Ziploc bag and that's it. So I freeze my beans in portions so that I know that for our family, we would need this many beans for dinner. And then when the time comes, I put them in the, I've put them in the freezer, and then when the time comes that I need to cook them, all that I do is I dump this entire bag into our steamer. I like to cook our beans in the winter time or whenever in a little steamer. I pour the whole thing in the steamer and that's it. It's that simple. There's no blanching required. It just takes you an extra couple of seconds to wash them and get them in this bag. I just try to get as much of the air out of it as possible. I used to fuss with it and put a straw in here and take a lot of the air out, but I just do this and then seal the bag off and then keep it as flat as possible, and that's it. You put it in the freezer and you're done. It honestly doesn't get any simpler than that. And when you're a really busy mom, you're running to sports activities, you've got any kind of activity, when you've got to get some fresh vegetables on the table, now you know, because summer's here, you've got lots maybe in your garden or you've picked them up, just grab extra and then you can wash them, put them in the freezer, and they're ready to go. And like I said, all that you would do is that you just would open it up, pour it in your steamer. I cook them usually for about, I don't know, 12 to 15 minutes. And then that's it. I also do this same thing is from my garden, if I'm growing beans, I keep a little freezer bag in my freezer. And if I maybe only collect like 6 beans because I've got bean plants that are just growing, then I would just wash them and put them in a little freezer bag in my freezer until I get enough that I could actually cook that portion. Because instead of me just having a few little things here and there, then I've got them to use. So I hope that that was helpful. I would love to hear in the comments if you've ever tried freezing beans like this and what you thought of it. I do so many different types of beans in here, green, yellow, purple, any type of bean, and I freeze them this way. But I would love to hear from you if that's working for you and if you've tried it before. I'm gonna share a video of how I froze tomatoes last year, because what I find as we have lots of tomatoes, and as you have a garden and you've got lots of tomatoes growing, you often will get a whole bunch that are ripe. And so in the video that's up here, I'm gonna show you how I froze tomatoes last year and how easy they are to peel. And my son helped me in that. So I hope that you liked that video, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.